Welcome back to NFL Nexus. You know, sometimes a team makes a move that looks pretty simple on the surface, but when you peel back the layers, wow, it's packed with drama, a huge philosophical shift, and honestly, a desperate search for some kind of stability. The Las Vegas Raiders just named their new defensive coordinator, and believe me, this one decision tells us everything we need to know about where this team is headed.
All right, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll talk about why this pick was such a shocker. Then, we got to get into the whole Max Crosby situation. After that, we'll look at the brilliant two birds, one stone play behind this hire, how it plugs into the new team of teachers philosophy in Vegas. And finally, we'll look at the massive uphill battle they're still facing. And hey, before we dive in, if you love this kind of deep dive NFL analysis, do me a huge favor, hit subscribe, like this explainer, and drop a comment with your thoughts on this move. I really do read them all. Okay, so why was this decision such a head-scratcher for so many people around the league? It's pretty simple, actually. Look, when your team finishes a season with a rough 3-14 record, there's kind of this unwritten rule, right? You clean house. You bring in big-name coaches from the outside to signal a total reset, a new era. It's all about changing the culture. And let's be real, it's about winning the press conference. That's exactly what everyone, especially the Raiders faithful, was expecting. The rumor mill was on fire with one name, Jim Schwartz. Now, let's be crystal clear. This isn't just some random coach. This is the guy, the architect, who just turned the Cleveland Browns defense into an absolutely terrifying elite unit that basically carried that team to the playoffs. He's the one who unleashed Myles Garrett for that insane Defensive Player of the Year season. Hiring Schwartz would have been a thunderous statement. But the Raiders went the complete opposite way. They didn't make a call, they just looked down their own hallway and promoted their defensive line coach, Leonard. This wasn't the flashy, headline-grabbing move everyone wanted. It was quiet, it was calculated, and it tells you their priorities are completely different. So that leads us to the big, multi-million-dollar question, why? I mean, why would you pass on a proven commodity, a big name like Jim Schwartz, for an internal promotion? When you have a shot at landing a defensive mastermind with that kind of resume, why on earth do you stay in-house? Well, the answer, it seems, has way less to do with the actual coordinator and a whole lot more to do with the franchise player. The whole decision-making process here seems to orbit around one guy, Max Crosby. He is without a doubt the heart and soul of this Raiders defense. You could even say the entire team. So this move, it's not just about X's and O's. No. This is a masterclass in modern player management, in crisis prevention, and it's all focused on one single goal: keeping your most important player happy, and more importantly, keeping him in that silver and black uniform. And here it is, folks, the smoking gun, coming straight from ESPN's Adam Schefter. This isn't just me guessing, this is the core of the whole thing. Leonard's promotion is directly 100% tied to Max Crosby. Crosby is the engine of this team. He's a relentless force of nature. But rumors have been flying for months that he wanted out after the last coaching mess. Losing a player of his talent, his leadership, his connection to the fans, that would be absolutely catastrophic for a team trying to rebuild. So the front office had a choice: hire the best coordinator available or deal with the massive risk of losing their best player. They made their choice. But wait, this wasn't just some panicked, knee-jerk reaction to keep Max Crosby from demanding a trade. This was a smart, strategic play. This is the kind of move that front offices dream about, where one single action solves multiple big problems all at once. It's efficient, and man, does it send a powerful message about what this organization truly values. So yeah, this one hire is a brilliant two birds with one stone solution. First, and this was the most urgent part, you solve the Crosby problem. In today's NFL, you just can't ignore your superstars. By promoting a coach that Crosby loves and works so well with, you're basically yelling, "We hear you. We value you." It's a huge gesture to lock in your cornerstone player. But just as important, you create stability. Think about the chaos the Raiders have been through. Gruden, Bisaccia, McDaniels, Pierce. It's been a nonstop revolving door of coaches and systems. That kind of constant change makes it impossible to build anything. By promoting from within and keeping a key guy like Leonard, you finally stop the bleeding. You stabilize the ship, and you make sure all that progress with the D-line isn't just wiped away. And, this decision wasn't just made in a vacuum to put out a fire. It actually fits perfectly with the brand new philosophy that head coach Clint Kubiak is trying to build from the ground up in Las Vegas. This goes way beyond just one player. It's about building an entire organizational identity. And there you have it, the mission statement straight from Clint Kubiak himself. He doesn't want celebrity coaches or flashy scheme guys. He wants a great team of teachers. So what does that really mean in the NFL today? Well, it means you value coaches who are masters in the film room and on the practice field. It's a bottom-up approach that's all about fundamentals, technique, and creating custom plans to make every single player on the roster better. It's a commitment to building talent, not just buying it. And this slide right here is all the proof you need for why Rob Leonard is the perfect guy for that philosophy. His real resume isn't just the guy who gets along with Max Crosby. No, it's his proven, tangible record of developing guys up and down that defensive line. Take Adam Butler, a veteran journeyman. Under Leonard, he didn't just fill a roster spot, he had some of his best tackle numbers ever. Or look at Jonah Leleu, a late-round project who a lot of people thought would barely play. Leonard coached him up into a reliable rotational piece. But the biggest success story? Malcolm Kuntz. He went from just a guy who rushed the passer on third down to a legitimate threat opposite Crosby. His sack numbers just exploded after working on his technique with Leonard. Even a former first-round pick like Clavon Chasen found a consistency he never had before. This is exactly what Kubiak is talking about. It's one thing to coach a superstar. It's another thing entirely to make the whole unit better. And Leonard has proven he can do that. So, okay, the hire makes a ton of sense. You make your star player happy, you create some stability, and you hire a coach who fits your head coach's philosophy. But now we have to zoom out and look at the big picture. Because fixing the defense, even with a smart hire like this, might be like patching a hole in the roof while the entire foundation of the house is crumbling. The challenge ahead for this team is, well, it's monumental. Now, get this. The defense wasn't even the team's biggest problem last season. They gave up about 25 points a game. That's not great for sure. It's in the bottom third of the league. But in today's NFL, that number by itself doesn't get you a 3-14 record. No, the real Achilles heel, the part of the team that consistently failed them, was a completely powerless offense that just couldn't score, couldn't move the ball, and couldn't stay on the field. So you're coming off that disastrous 3-14 season where your offense was the main problem. And now, just look at the neighborhood they live in. The AFC West is an absolute murderer's row of quarterback talent. You've got to face Patrick Mahomes, a generational talent with multiple rings, twice a year. You've got to deal with Justin Herbert and that cannon he has for an arm twice a year. And now the Broncos just added Bo Nix, a Heisman finalist known for his accuracy. To even think about competing in this division, you don't just need a decent offense. You need an explosive one. Shoring up the defense is a great start, a necessary start, but it's only one half of a very, very tough equation. And that leaves us with the ultimate question as the Raiders try to dig themselves out of this hole. They made a smart, multi-layered move. They kept their superstar happy, they bought some desperately needed continuity, and they promoted a coach who fits the new vision. But in a division with this much offensive firepower, is having a solid, stable defense even close to being enough to close that massive gap? That right there is the gamble Las Vegas is taking. Thanks for watching this deep dive explainer here on NFL Nexus. And hey, if you're looking for a great way to support the channel and everything we do, check out our new coloring books. They are perfect for all ages, for kids, grandkids, or even for you if you're looking to unwind after a long day. You can grab them by scanning the QR code on your screen right now or by clicking the direct link I put in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next breakdown.